Hey book lovers, Marianna here and welcome back to Hearts Paperbacks. Today I'm sharing 5+1 historical romances that deserve a spot in your TBR pile. These books have completely stolen my heart and I cannot wait to tell you why, so let's dive in. First up, The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. We have tropes like protective sibling and I guess some enemies to lovers. Let's get the rating out of the way. For me, this was definitely 4.5 out of 5 and in spiciness, I guess like a 3 out of 5. Most of you have probably seen the Bridgerton series and especially season 2, my favorite, and it's because the book is one of my favorites. I think it's my favorite of all the Bridgerton books, of all 8, I mean in the main series. But in case you've been living under a rock and you don't know what happened, we have our heroine Kate and our hero Anthony. So in an effort for Kate to protect her sister from notorious Rake, Anthony Bridgerton, she finds herself in a compromising situation with him and they're now, I guess, trapped in a marriage of convenience. The banter is absolutely delightful. I mean, you can probably guess that the series was based on the book, but the plot is different and I love both. For different reasons, but I guess I was missing some scenes I guess from the book that I would have liked included in the series, but they were not, but it's okay. They're different and I like them respectively for what they are. But yes, I highly recommend it, especially that game of Pall Mall that we also have in the series. It's really good and it's fun reading about. We have a lot of wit, a lot of banter and spice, I guess. Now let's spice things up a bit with The Duke and the Wrong Bride by Mabel Bardot. For tropes, we have Marriage of Convenience and For Proximity. This was a 4 out of 5 for me, and in the spice meter, I guess a 3.5 out of 5. Duke Henry has found himself in a tricky situation. His betrothed Beatrice ran away before the wedding, and now he's in need of a bride, so her sister will just have to do. So Charlotte is the only way out because he wants to not suffer from public humiliation. It's definitely a steamy read, and be aware of the BDSM elements there. And speaking of irresistible dukes, let's talk about The Cold-Hearted Rake by Lisa Kleypas. For tropes here, we have a reformed Rake and enemies to lovers. It was definitely a 4 out of 5 stars for me and a 3.5 out of 5 in the spicy meter. It features a reformed Rake hero, Devon, and a practical heroine, Lady Kathleen, and you can just guess that they're gonna clash. I mean, the chemistry between them practically leaps off the page. This one is definitely for the fans of witty romance, but also slow burn. I mean, their initial classes are absolutely delicious. Devon, as the title suggests, starts off as a rake, but gradually he changes for Kathleen, and gradually he takes responsibility not only for his family and his estate, but he also becomes passionate for her, so yeah, they're goals. You're definitely gonna love Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. We have an enemies to lovers romance here. It was a 4.5 for me in the overall rating, and for spiciness, I guess a 3 out of 5. So we have Annabelle Archer. She's a brilliant Oxford student. She does find herself though involved with the suffragist movement, and her path crosses with our heroes, Sebastian Devereux, the Duke of Montgomery. His name alone, gold. Their initial sparring was everything. I just love how Annabelle never compromises her beliefs. And then we have Sebastian, who is starting to fall with someone who is the opposite of what he believes in. It's golden. I love how we have the perfect balance of historical politics and romance. And for my 5th pick, let me introduce you to All, Duke and Bothered by Mariah Stone. We have a strong heroine here and For Proximity. It was a 3.5 out of 5 in the overall rating for me and like a 3 out of 5 in spiciness. This one is a deliciously angsty Marriage of Convenience and a revenge plot that had me absolutely hooked. We have present the Duke of Granthampton. He's a brooding hero who's determined to avenge his brother's death. And then we have Penelope, who is an artist and she would rather pursue her passion than, just get married because society says so. Although in the end, she does agree to marry him because she wants to save her father from ruin. So it was a really good, delicious Marriage of Convenience novel. I particularly like that Penelope brings, this light into Preston's darkness, and it makes the book really unique. I mean, that scene when he first discovered her paintings, oh my god, it was absolutely amazing. So for a bonus pick, I just had to include another Bridgerton books because I love the series that much, and my second favorite is When He Was Wicked. It's a widow romance but also friends to lovers, and I just love how it takes place in Scotland for the most part. For me, it was a clear 5 out of 5 and definitely one of the spiciest Bridgerton books, so I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 5. This one definitely stands out to me because it had a more serious tone to it. It is part of the Bridgerton series, but it can absolutely be read as a standalone. So this one is about Michael Sterling, and he has been in love with his cousin's wife, Francesca Bridgerton, for years. And unfortunately, once Francesca is a widow, she turns to her old friend Michael for some comfort. I mean, she didn't know that he loved her for all these years, but she's about to find out. And you all, this book, it broke me. I mean, all those years of Michael pining and the fertility issues that Francesca had faced, all put in the Regency era, they make this book what it is. The emotional tension of this book is off the charts. It was just chef's kiss. So that was it for today's historical recommendation, guys. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and hit the subscribe button so you do not miss another bookish update from me. And let me know in the comments which one of these books are you most excited to read. And until next time, keep reading and stay passionate. Bye!